Hi Leo, welcome to LettiSpeaks. Today, Leo, we're going to take a look at the dragons that you are slaying right now. And when I say dragons, I mean like what things are needing to be addressed or confronted or tackled in order for you to realize your purpose or your next level, right? And so my name is Letty. For those of you that are new, welcome. And if you feel led, please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you do, make sure you hit the bell. My intention is that this video will be very short, succinct, to the point. So let's get started. What dragons are you slaying, Leo? I did pull out my cards beforehand just for the sake of time. And so I did pull from my Rebels Oracle deck, Faith in the Process. And so it feels very much like you could very well be going through this phase right now, Leo, where things may not always seem very clear. You may be experiencing what feels like a level of opposition. Your plans may not be being realized, or things may just feel like they're blocked. The things that you would try to get across, even the methods that you are currently engaged in may not be very clear, may not be very easily receptive. And it may seem very difficult, even a little bit confusing. And so you may feel like you're not necessarily fully understood the way that you would like to be. That could lend to a level of frustration as well. And overall, I feel like this sense of transition, this sense of change happening, things may very well even feel like they're very much out of your control, and things may even feel like they're on fire, but it's to understand that whenever this energy comes in, many times what's happening, especially in this case, Leo, when you're being asked to trust the process, this is purposeful. It's understanding what's happening right now is very purposeful. This is number 32, which lends to the number 5, change. And I think I've been having this very transitional energy with you, Leos, quite a bit lately, where there's this change happening. And I feel like part of this change is you being guided into a deeper level of understanding who you are, even understanding more about the realities of your experiences and how they lend to your overall belief and what you believe about life. Those types of very foundational things are changing. And many times when you change at that very foundational level, it lends to a lot of what feels like chaotic energy and chaotic movement. But through all of this, the positive note is that you'll come out understanding more and trusting yourself in a way that you have not before. And so this is part of the dragon that you are slaying right now, this transition that's happening. And I feel like the energy around you is really just trying to survive this tumultuous change that's happening. The other oracle card I pulled was Life Path. Again, it feels very much like this is connected to your purpose around life and these redirections happening to reposition you in that way. This very much feels like, when I look at this card, we're seeing babies and angels. Like this was always your life path. Though you may not have been on it or engaged in it, this is very much in line with where you were always supposed to be. Many times things happen that throw us off, even in that, it's understanding everything is really pivoting and purpose to lead us to our life path. And Spirit wants you to understand that everything that has happened has led you to this place, to ask the specific questions that you're asking right now, to face and confront these difficulties that you are facing right now. It's all coming to a conclusion. And I feel like many of the things that you've chosen, is almost kind of turning, how you have I don't know why I'm thinking of like a djinn, right? You can have a djinn. There's this one movie called The Wishmaster, and there's this djinn that has the ability to grant wishes, but there's a trick to it, and so you are convinced by this jinn to make a wish. But on the other end of that, what the jinn doesn't tell you is that each wish that you make is kind of like a trick wish. And at some point in time, that wish ends up disintegrating and, fading away or turning into something very opposite. It's like a piece of fruit going bad, and so it almost has this type of energy around this life path. Something that you may very well have thought at one point in time was aligned for you, or something that you really felt was for you and would make you so very happy and content, lately is not fulfilling you. Lately, it almost feels like it's been shifted into the very opposite of what it used to be. And I'm getting polar extremes. Like at one point, this could have been something that made you very, very happy, but lately it's shifted into something that you're repelled from. And so this too, I feel like, is pitted and rooted around this transition taking place for you. There may be levels of clarity coming in through these experiences that, like little surges of information and energy around awakening and aha moments, right? If you are awake, if you are paying attention, if you are receptive to these changes that are taking place, I feel like these are things that are actually planted at certain points to actually give you the insight that you need along the way. It's kind of like breadcrumbs along the way. And so it's understanding that everything that's happening may not in fact feel good or pleasurable, but it's actually shifting things right before your eyes. It's shifting things in order for it to position you to actually move towards your life path, which has always been your life path. And so for you, Leo, I'm seeing like family quarrels, just, all of a sudden. It's almost like waking up and asking the question like, dang, when did everything turn sour? Like, when did things shift and into these opposing forces, as it pertains to you? And I really do feel like right now is a time where you don't really have to do anything. This could be a time where a lot of things don't feel very clear, or you feel like you've shifted into this level of darkness. But it's trusting. Part of this process and you slaying this dragon is you being able to trust through this process. Number one, trusting yourself through this. A lot of these things that are being brought up for you is to actually have you take a look at what's going on within you as well. That's part of the process, is being awakened to yourself. And so there's nothing that you really need to do. This is really a quiet moment where you are being asked to observe and to pay attention and to look Not necessarily have to act to do anything, but it's observing, right? Out of the darkness, you may very well feel like this is a dark time for you, but out of the darkness comes light, right? And so you are being called to observe right now. And so let's find out, is there anything else Spirit would want you to know? Any advice for my Leos during this time of slaying this dragon of change? Being asked to trust the process as you're being led to and through, for some of you that already know, through your life path. Any advice for Leo? And some of the signs that came up in your reading, Leo, was I got lots of Piscean energy. You could have placements in Mars and Pluto. I also got Libran energy, Scorpio, Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and yeah. And so let's see. Any advice for Leo before we close this out? So major transitions for you right now, Leo. Seems like that is your dragon that you are slaying right now, is navigating through these changes that are happening in your life and trying to find meaning in it, trusting yourself in it. I feel like it's very conflicting, whether that's internal conflict or external. There's lots of conflict right now around you. And so I have the Five of Swords, the Hanged Man, the High Priestess, the Seven of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Four of Swords, which is interesting because we have even conflicting energies here. On one hand, we have things like the Hangman, which says to be still. And, you know, this is a time to be still and just allow yourself to be. But at the same time, we have the Knight of Wands, which says, you know, it has this very active energy. Go, do, be, you know. And then we have the Four of Swords as well, which aligns with the Hangman energy that says to be still, right? And so I feel like what Spirit is guiding you during this time of conflict, Leo, it's important to really, I feel like the Hangman and the Four of Swords is this energy of being attuned to yourself, especially as the High Priestess has shown up here. That Piscean energy is really connected spiritually, to be in tune to yourself. Part of you could very well, as I stated in the beginning, be going through this transition spiritually, trying to really find answers to eternal questions, you know, and trying to understand not only yourself, but the overall picture of existence. You could be asking very big questions as it pertains to eternity right now, and things are looking a lot different than maybe they did 10 years ago. And so this is a time Spirit is asking you to really be courageous with the Seven of Wands. Have courage to stand and have courage to allow yourself, you know, where once you were standing in a certain truth, when things are being revealed to you, allow yourself the courage to allow your truth to evolve with you. Okay? If that makes sense, right? Truth has the ability to evolve according to what we know. What we knew 20 years ago maybe, looks very different than what is known today, 20 years later, as you've evolved and as things around you has evolved and being uncovered, it may look very different. And so Spirit is asking you, through this inner conflict and external conflict for many of you as well, to have courage, to stand in your truth, whatever that is today. Even if it doesn't look like what it was 10 years ago, have the courage to stand in that. And for those of you that are having awakenings or these new revelations that are coming, guard that. Guard that like your life depends on it, because it does. This is about you, Leo. This is about your life path, what you've been called to do. That is where your inheritance is. That's where your treasure lies. You thought that some of the things that you experienced yesterday made you happy. Well, when we align with our soul's energy, it's understanding that's where our true happiness lies, when we are aligned with our authentic selves and what we've been called to do. That's a happiness that I believe is unexpected, and it's more than we could ever really understand until we get there and get a taste of that. And so for you, Leo, you are slaying the dragon of transition and change into your being aligned with your highest soul purpose, I believe. And so I hope this has been inspiring for someone. This is a general read, so if you're looking for something a little bit more personal, feel free to go down to my description box and find my calendar. Once you find my calendar, click on that, and you can go in there and actually schedule a personal reading for yourself, okay? With that being said, please like, share, comment. That helps the video to get out, and possibly, someone that needs to hear this will run across it. If you are new, my name is Letty. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. Make sure that you subscribe if you feel called to the energies here. If you find yourself subscribing, hit the bell so you'll be notified the next time a new video comes out, or if I go live, okay? All right, Leos, that was for you. Thank you for stopping by. It has been LettiSpeaks. Till next time. All right, Leos, take care.